6:15 in Douala. Thanks and welcome to the news. I'm Kejang Henry at Timbe. Now let's flag off with our headlines. Three children have died in Monatele as a result of a generator-intoxicated gas. Following a black September 17th, the mother, in the bid to preserve her fish, put on the generator that stayed functional throughout the night. The children were seriously affected by the gas. And an estimated 8,000 people in the far north region of Cameroon are in need of humanitarian assistance after ravaging floods displaced them early September. And President people, partners of the restructuring organization,
Canal International.
Different platforms are open for consultation on Canal International. Interested partners wishing to work with the presidential plan for the reconstruction by the Reconstruction Department or organization. And according to July's Prime Ministerial decree restructuring the institution, the details were contained when Paul Tassong, who is coordinating the presidential plan for the reconstruction and development of the Southwest and Northwest regions, visited the Northwest region for discussion. Details with Sherifa Saleh, with curls from our Northwest Chief Correspondent Annie Collins.
Following the restructuring of the presidential plan for the reconstruction and development of the Northwest region and the Southwest region, the structure is now open to other development organizations and non-governmental organizations to speed up the process presented to stakeholders in the Northwest region by the Minister Delegate at the Ministry of Economy Planning and Regional Development, who doubles as committee chair and guest to the conclave. This was during the second regional steering committee meeting held in Bamenda on Tuesday, September 17.
Now, in the construction, it has the possibility to incorporate within its results Babati Road. At the same time, the urban bypass road of the city of Bamenda.
Chaired by the regional coordinator, who is the governor, a balance sheet of the projects carried out so far was presented. It was made abundantly clear that though all the 35 mayors are statutory members, the PPRD can even bypass them and carry out projects in their municipalities without their consent. Owing to the new configuration, the United Nations Development Programme, UNDP, ceases to be the sole implementing partner of PPRD projects
and thousands of families in Maga, Cameroon, destroyed their homes and livelihoods. The floods caused by heavy rains in early September displaced many, leaving them without food.
Cameroon's far north region, entire communities are still grappling with the devastation brought by relentless floods, eventually breaching a water retention dike in the Mayo Danai early this month. The result, large-scale destruction of homes, farms, and essential infrastructure, leaving thousands stranded and struggling to survive.
Maga and its environs are all inundated. To move from one area to another, we are forced to use canoes. Houses have been destroyed, and we do not even have a space to cook.
With most homes either partially or completely submerged, many families are forced to sleep in the open, battling hunger and a lack of basic amenities. The floods have not only displaced families, but also severely impacted the local economy. Maga's rice farms, a critical food source and income for the local population, are now underwater.
We have seen houses and plantations destroyed, as well as the water retention dike. I'm here to take stock of the situation so that build roads, repair the dike, and construct adequate drainage systems to prevent future disasters.
Maga and surrounding villages, including Yagua, are struggling to recover, but residents say they are in desperate need of help. They are all out, each putting in efforts to raise a temporary dike.
Most of open.
The situation has also impacted education, with schools unable to resume until the water levels recede. Authorities hope that classes will restart in October, but this is dependent on conditions improving.
And in the Thames Valley, that's in the south region of the country, cocoa farmers have asked for the farm grade prices of cocoa to be raised to support their cultivation. In a frustrating move, the farmers say the sharp drop in the prices of cocoa recently has left them in serious difficulties. Once more, Gladys Ambodiba reports.
Cocoa farmers in the Thames Valley Division in the South region are grappling with an economic crisis that has left them in dire straits. The price of cocoa, their primary source of livelihood, has plummeted to as low as 1,500 to 2,000 francs CFA per kilogram, significantly below the government-approved rate. The situation, which has now persisted for over a month, has caused widespread distress among the farmer communities.
We do not understand a kilogram for 2,000 francs or 2,500 francs, whereas that is not the homologated price. We are disturbed because we are counting on the state.
The farmers in Yosman village explained how drastic price drop has made it nearly impossible for them to meet their basic needs. They claim in some areas in the Thames Valley Division, cocoa is selling as much as 5,000 to 6,000 francs CFA per kilogram. They are imploring the head of state and the Minister of Trade to intervene and address what they describe as injustice.
At the normal price.
The state has fixed a price for cocoa and we need to respect that. We go through a lot to have these cocoa beans. The fertilizers and labor is not easy, including other inputs.
Actively decided to stop selling their cocoa until fair prices are restored.
The camera on small and medium-sized enterprises in the country. According to JICAM, the tax strain has weakened the cash flow, triggering massive exodus of talent. The bank sat through a press briefing this morning at the headquarters of JICAM.
The Cameroon's Employers Association has emphasized the severe impact of tax pressures on small and medium-sized enterprises, compounded by lack of access to land titles and BEAC's tight monetary policies aimed at controlling the 2023 7.4% inflation rate. These factors, it says, are restricting access to credit, prompting calls for property tax reform and measures to curb the informal sector.
Our tax system contributes in rendering the informal sector obese. Once we don't understand this, it will be very difficult for companies in the informal sector to migrate to the formal sector.
We are now pushing to obtain a reduction of the minimum tax and the advance tax on every time.
The challenging business environment has also led to the significant exodus of skilled workers, with 6,000 leaving in early 2024, following 15,700 in 2023 and 9,500 in 2022. This trend depletes talent and burdens companies with debts from departing staff.
We have taken the full measure of the situation and have written to the Minister for External Relations requesting a consultation meeting to effect.
JICAM emphasized that Cameroon's economic growth has underperformed, missing targets set in key development strategies, adding the trade deficit exceeded 2,000 billion CFA francs in 2022, making up about 25% of the national budget. It urges swift reforms to improve the business climate and retain skilled labor.
And in the South region, Transparency International is working to make sure the bring that are claiming the right to land. This is the content of a meeting that took place as we are getting updates from you, Beatrice Ngamo.
from the Land Rights Now campaign to delve into the case of the population of 32 villages in Meyomesala, Meyomese, and Jum districts in the South region against a rubber company exploiting parts of their fields, forests, where they used to fish, hunt, and enjoy nature and tradition.
The
population of dialogue and consideration of their rights. Coming after several years of disputes and negotiations, as the communities considered that the investment is not sufficient compared to the impact of the company on their lives. A convention outlining the needs of the local population was developed as requested by the company and signed by 23 chiefs last December 2022. Unfortunately, SOCIETE is still to sign. The investigative report presented by Transparency International is not to separate these people and company, but to instigate frank dialogue, what their representatives attest, as nature has brought them to live together, and like one family, they are to discuss. We are demanding for dialogue from SOCIETE. Unfortunately, the representative of the company SOCIETE, who was supposed to be part of the press conference in Yaoundé, was not present. No one. In line with mission to fight against corruption and promotion of good governance.
Registration process for prospective student Sherifa Saleh reports.
As the new academic year approaches, universities in Douala are buzzing with activities. The pre-registration process, which began on August 15, aims to streamline student registration and facilitate a seamless transition into campus private universities. Universities such as the University of Douala have implemented pre-registration committee to simplify registration for freshmen. This innovation reduces stress, wait times, and enhances the overall student experience.
La plupart du temps, lorsqu'un étudiant arrive,
Here is prospective students can register with eligibility criteria and required documents clearly without doubt. Our seniors have the pre-registration process is a critical step towards securing admission and accessing various university services. The University of Douala is poised to shape the future of Cameroon's youth.
Thanks very much, Sherifa Saleh. And of course, we are expecting Hyacinthe Chia to come on board from a generator that when Hyacinthe Chia's report were suffocated to death throughout led to the suffocation of these children. Hello, Hyacinthe. Drawing the curtains for this edition of wishing to work with the presidential plan by the economy and planning. Thanks for being there with us. Good day.